I am not teaching, I am publicly learning. But hi and welcome to Learning for the Life in UK test part 591 by doing morning stretching. And if you participate in the morning stretching, that's at your own risk. Now we were coming in the Life in UK test handbook over a section about the civil service. And the basic question we have, what is the civil service? Because it is not said in the book. And now we're just trying to find out basically what the civil service is. We know so far that people can work there and do that, but we don't know what it is. But it could be something like veterinarian surgeon, marine biologist, weapon engineer, or the people working in these offices where visas are done, driver's licenses, benefits are given out, or by the food control agency. But we're basically not trying to get a job. We're trying to find out what is the public service, what is the civil service. We are doing that now in the part 5 or 4. We're not really coming forward. Now, when we stumbled across something written here, a blog, and the blog has the title, My Experience and Advice as a Veterinarian Surgeon Applying for a Job in the Civil Service by Jane Holloran. And we wanted to go over it. We already started to read it. And now here's written something to initial application. It is crucial to take time to carefully read the job description and any supplementary information. Specifically, noting the essential criteria. For my current role, I was required to submit a CV, provide a 1,000-word statement of suitability, and a 500-word statement demonstrating how I met the lead criteria. The 1,000-word statement asked me to evidence 3 types of skills. I allowed myself roughly 300 words for each one. For organizational skills, for example, I included performing multiple 15-minute consultations daily in which I took histories and notes, performed clinical exams and prescribed medication. A situation I faced whilst working sole charge in which a dog presented an acute heart failure required me to reprioritize and coordinate my tasks to successfully accommodate this emergency case within my existing workload. Are we serious? I used the CRA, Context, Action, Result, and SDIA, Situation, Task, Action, Result, forms to structure my answers. Civil service recruitment is focused on understanding decisions made and actions performed to demonstrate a behavior or skill. It's easy to be overly descriptive, but using the CRA, so the Context, Action, Result, or Situation, Task, Action, Result, helps avoid this and keeps this concise. Even something you may consider menial, such as completing insurance forms and prescriptions, can be used to demonstrate organization, attention to detail, and the ability to prioritize. Again, we are not here to get a job. We are here to find out what the public service is. We know about this case. She seemed to have worked as a clinical practice in the... What was it? Or was it someone else? However, keen to move from clinical practice to a policy role within the civil service. She was working in something clinical practice, and then she switched over to do part of a food standards agency. I made sure the answer I perfected the most was for the lead criteria. This was on the subject of using evidence to make decisions. I explained that this is fundamental to veterinarian work, giving examples on how I obtained evidence, such as blood tests and use of data, which was sometimes limited to make clinical decisions. Interview. So you should write about yourself, what you have done. Okay, it makes sense if you want to work for a food agency. But again, I think working for a food agency is not even thousands of people working in public service. And if working in a food agency, that where clinical practice and something like that is required, that makes sense. But we're not here to getting a job. We're here to find out what is the public service. And where we not really want to with 1,000 specific thing, but we're still getting an overview, and it's still interesting. Interview. The interview focused on behaviors that form part of a civil service success profiles. Behaviors on the gov.uk website are stated as actions and activities that people do which result in effective performance in a job. I was interviewed on 4 behaviors on which of changing and improving. As stated on gov.uk, changing and improving is the ability to seek out opportunities to create effective change and suggest innovative ideas for improvement. This got me thinking about potential questions related to this theme. For example, describing a time when you changed the way you work. Using a real-life example on, I don't know what was the start of it. I recalled how I had adjusted my surgical technique for performing something with dogs, which resulted in a shorter surgical time and reduced intraoperative and something like that. My top tips to conclude: stand out and show unique perspectives. So, is it something difficult to get a job in the public service? And I not mean in the difficulty you have to have qualifications and so on. I mean, is that something very hard to get? Because our main assumption is that public service are police, soldier, and so on, and that they are hiring people, they are trying to get people for work for them. Not, we have 1 or 2 places, we need 1 or 2 food people in the whole country. And you have to have a lot of luck to be chosen. Not only the qualifications, you have to be the most best person in the whole country. Otherwise, my top tips to conclude: stand out and show a unique perspective. I highlighted how my public health training at university gave me an understanding of how the FSA fits into the form-to-fork process. Using real-life examples that fit civil service behaviors and prepare some in advance for the interview. Describe what you did and why you did it, rather than focus on the actions of others. Use I, not we. Have written notes to hand for the interview. This could even just be a couple of keywords to jog your memory. Finally, have faith that as a vet you most likely have countless examples of how you have shown a range of skills. But that is an example how to get a person for the food agency. That applies not for 99.99% of the people applying for it. My guess, I'm here to find out what it is. The job requires you to adapt, work to tight deadlines, prioritize and be highly organized. It involves communication, often complex information, to a wide range of people, sometimes under challenging circumstances. If you take time to think of past scenarios or current responsibilities, you most likely realize how clinical work provides an area of transferable skills for civil service. And how much money do you make? And is anything provided of them? Do they explain to you what we did? And not just explaining, just saying, just proving we have done that and that. 2 comments. Okay, Nick. Hello, best regards first of all. You published pretty useful article with serious advice on completing the applications and actually passing our interview. Yes, these are good tips for how to do it, but not what to do. Can you guarantee that the commission members are going to be in same mood and do the same things on my interview as they were and did on yours? Just be a good person. Just give your best. It's the best advice. You have described the entire selection. Okay, that's the comment. Now we're coming back to something officially. Professions, we were already. Grades and salaries. There are 7 broad grades in the civil service: administrative officer, administrative assistant, executive officer, high executive officer, senior executive officer, grade 7, 6, senior civil services. A civil servant's salary depends on grade and role, with each grade having different level of seniority, responsibility, and expertise, which is reflected in the pay scales. Salary can also vary depending on the government department you work in. Administrative officers play an essential role in government departments, usually in administrative support, operation, delivery roles. They are entry-level or junior roles. Responsibilities can include handling inquiries over the phone, in person or online, schedule meeting and arrange travel, file documents, refer complex work, keeping account up to date, update and manage information system, including database and electronic records, and we have a number. Average starting salary £23,000. Executive officer. Handling, inquiring over the phone, schedule meeting and arrange travel, file document, refer complex documents, 27,000. High executive, 32,000. Managing team and administrative staff, carrying out data analysis, preparing and presenting reports, managing a budget. Senior executive. Lead a team to develop policies, manage the stakeholder relationships, draft briefing for senior colleges, review and manage risk, making recommendations about policies and business changes, managing work, 39,000. Great, 7:49. We don't have time left. We're going to do another morning stretching. If you're here to, I don't really know what it is, so doing some research in the direction just to find out what public service is, you can go directly to the next video. We will do the morning stretching now. If you participated, it is at your own risk. We're bringing the leg up and we're putting the foot down. We're bringing the other leg up and putting the foot down. And now we're beginning going slowly down. Out. Again in. Out. In. Out. Again in. Out. Again in. Out. Breathe in. Out. Breathe in across the legs. And out. Next exercise. Legs are standing shoulder width apart. We're breathing in, lifting the arms up. And breathe out, go over to one side. Breathe in and out the rib cage. And again out. And again in. And out into the middle. Breathe again in. And out. Breathe in and out the rib cage. And again out. Again in. And out into the middle. And arms down. Next exercise. Now one sees your cobra. Breathe in. And out, one hand slides down the leg. And the other shoulder stays down. Breathe again in. And out to take one arm off. And breathe in and out the rib cage. And again out. Again in. Out into the middle. Breathe again in. And out, one hand slides down the leg. And the other shoulder stays down. Breathe again in. And out, taking one arm off. Breathe in and out the rib cage. And again out. And again in. And out back into the middle. Now what sees the acroptera? No. Now, the aerotic aerobatic aeroplane. We're breathing in and lifting the arms up. And out. One arm comes down. Breathe in and reach into both directions. And again out. Again in. And out, one arm down. Breathe in and reach. And out. Again in. And out. Breathe in and reach. And out. Again in. And out, one arm down. Breathe in and reach. And out. And out. Next exercise. With the Niagara Falls. Breathe in. And out, and we're hanging down. And breathe again in. And out. Again in. And out over to one leg. Breathe again in. And out. Again. And out up to the other leg. Breathe again in. And out. And again in. And out into the middle. Closer. And breathe again in. And out. And again in. And out it comes slowly around back up, making it a top backwards. Shoulder. Another classic exercise for breathing in. And out. Again in. Out. And then last time in. And out. Again in. Out. Now breathe in and close my legs. And out. That was morning stretching. I thank you very much and until next time.